One of the most famous, or perhaps infamous, plays, certainly in New York Giant and Philadelphia Eagle history, happened 10 years ago this weekend at the Meadowlands. Dick Vermeil, young coach of the Eagles, had his club playing the Giants, had his club on the brink of perhaps getting into the playoffs, but they were trailing the Giants until Joe Pisarcik couldn't hand the ball off to Larry Csonka, and Herman Edwards returns it into the end zone. The fumble became the epitome of the Giants and their futility. Of course, that's changed now in the 80s. Eagles won the game and made it to the playoffs. 10 years later, Eagles come back to the Meadowlands, fittingly. Nice job, schedule makers. Would there be deja vu? Play almost as bizarre, maybe more bizarre, ended the game. Bill Parcells looking like the Shah or somebody as the rains came pouring down at Giant Stadium, which sprung a leak. George Martin, an emotional pregame meeting, called for tough defense. And the Giants tried to make Randall Cunningham's life miserable. Leonard Marshall got the message. He made a sack, loss of 9 on the play. Martin, the man who was retiring after this year, almost sacks Cunningham, but Eric Howard does the deed. A little later on, number 56, Lawrence Taylor. He reintroduces himself to Randall with a quick sack. And even on occasion, when Randall tried to get out of the pocket, as he's so adept at doing, he just loses the football. Eagles recovered, but they lose 12 yards on the play. They had only 48 yards total offense in the first half. But their offense came on defense, just like Buddy designs it. Phil Simms back to pass. Problem. Seth Joyner isn't on his team. He's on the Eagles. He could go all the way. Now, Simms knocks him out at the 2. It's a 29-yard return. That leads to a questionable touchdown. Giants have held twice on 3rd down. Is Cunningham over? Well, they call a touchdown. LT and company cannot believe it. But the Eagles led 7-0. That's Simms' numbers on the day. But he would put some zip into their offense in the 3rd quarter before he left due to injury. Hit Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker, over midfield for 17 yards. Then he hooks up with Lionel Manuel, who's made so many big receptions of Simms' passes. Heads down to the 27. Then Simms himself will take it down to his own number, the 11-yard line. And the drive will end. 9 yards out, Simms to Baker. Giants lead 17-10, 3rd quarter in the rain, late in the Meadowlands. But Simms would make a painful exit thanks to the Minister of Defense, Reggie White. Simms with a bruised shoulder did not return on the sidelines, showing some serious pain, and was Hostetler for the rest of the way. Meanwhile, Randall Cunningham to Keith Jackson. Fumble at the 3. Chris Carter, though, recovers it for the touchdown. We're tied at 17. We go to overtime. Eagles on 3rd down have a field goal by Zendejas blocked, but it's behind the line of scrimmage, and Clyde the Glide Simmons picks up the football and goes into the end zone. A 16-yard touchdown. Bill Parcells said, wait a minute, there's no way. You can't advance it on a field goal, but it was 3rd down, and that's one of the many reasons you do it on 3rd down. Usually you're thinking of if the fumbled snap, you would get another chance to try the field goal. And so the Eagles now, along with the Giants and with the Cardinals, are tied for first place in the NFC East. The Skins, with a win Monday night, could make it a 4-way tie. Eagles have fought the uphill fight, and they're finally 2 games over 500, and they seem to be the team on the move. They beat the Giants twice now, first time they've done that since '80.
Certainly one of the problems for the Giants today, you can't fault that defense. 2 recoveries for the Eagles in the end zones leading to touchdowns. But I think the Giants will find as the season goes on, and maybe are finding out already, they miss the leadership of a guy like Harry Carson on the football field.
Yes, and a Harry Carson situation is that he was quite annoyed that the Giants put him on IR without telling him. He said he could have been back in 2 weeks. He's annoyed. He said he'd like to play some more football. Maybe he doesn't belong with New York anymore. That's some pretty serious words from a guy who has been really the epitome of the Giants' defense, actually.
It certainly was. On less serious words, I'm already wondering if Buddy's going to claim he planned that play. If I do know one thing Buddy Ryan's going to tell him is there aren't going to be any more of those rap videos like you saw on the pregame show. Teams that make rap videos tend to have opponents see them and don't have a good day the next Sunday.
Yeah, the Super Bowl shuffle by the Bears worked. The others didn't work. And our attempt on game day didn't work either, if you saw that one. When the Eagles have been over 500 this late in the season, well, in the 80s, they don't finish well. Buddy's out to change it. We'll be back.